Recently, I found myself watching the How to Get Rich Netflix series by Ramit Sethi. So who is Ramit? He is an American author, New York Times bestseller of I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Really, Ramit's style is to kind of take a numbers-based approach with people. And you'll see this in the Netflix documentary. What he works with these people on is you'll hear him say, taking a look at their numbers. And, generally, by and large, that's the approach that we would take, right? So we start with your personal balance sheet. What are your assets? What are your investments? What are your liabilities? Debt, credit card. What are you spending every month? Conversely, what are you saving every month? If you're not cash flow positive, meaning you spend less than you make, you don't need a financial advisor. I completely agree with that because there is no free cash flow. There is nothing to invest for an advisor to help an individual grow and accumulate wealth. Then from there, he poses the question, what is your rich life? And what he's trying to do is to get people to articulate their long-term goals and objectives and kind of picture what do they really want money to help them accomplish in their life. Ramit uses the word, rich life. I think you would hear us use the word financially independent. The overall point would be the financial independence. To me, it's simply being able to do what you want, when you want, for however long you want. I think what has made Ramit so popular, I think he's got a very direct and snarky approach, right? I think one of the things that he conveys, which I generally agree with, is, illustrating to people, look, not everybody's thinking about you. In a world where, by and large, most of the American workforce doesn't have a pension anymore, right? Doesn't have an employer setting aside money for them. Most of us are in a situation where we've got some type of an employer savings plan, and outside of maybe a company match, it really is on the individual American now to kind of save for retirement. Yes, you've got Social Security, but if you've been paying attention to recent headlines, Social Security has a funding issue. You, the individual investor, have to become knowledgeable on your personal finances. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to accumulate wealth, and you're always going to be living paycheck to paycheck. Look, we are biased, right? We are a wealth management practice. And during the documentary, and Ramit's been outspoken about this, he views one of the biggest ripoffs is paying a financial advisor a percentage of assets under management. I will maybe counter Ramit with two observations. The first is called the Dalbar study. It's an industry study that's been going on since the early 80s. And what the study is trying to articulate is what is the average return of the average investor, and how does that compare to if you just went out and bought an indice, right? At the S&P 500 index fund or, an international index fund. How does the average investor's returns compare against just a buy and hold strategy in the S&P 500? The stats consistently illustrate that over the long run, the average investor is their own worst enemy. They have a tendency to get emotional and make a knee-jerk reaction at the exact wrong time. They have a tendency to buy high and sell low, right? And we're trying to do the exact opposite, right? You'd want to sell high and buy low. Independent registered investment advisors, or really just competent financial advisors, are performing the same function that Ramit is. And I would challenge him because he works with these couples for 6 weeks. And then that's kind of the end of the relationship. Whereas we expect to be working with our clients for years, if not decades, and really kind of shepherding them along and being seen as a trusted advisor that helps them to accomplish their long-term goals and objectives. And I guess overall, I love everything he was doing in the documentary to create awareness on personal finances, but I don't agree with the value of a really competent advisor that really does know your numbers and really can kind of be seen as a trusted advisor. For my clients, we build out a personal balance sheet. I can tell you how much is in their IRA account, their 401k, their Roth IRA, their joint brokerage account, how much they like to keep in checking. I can tell you how much they spend every month. I can tell you what they save. I can tell you what we're working towards and what the long-term objectives are. I can tell you what they want to accomplish for their kids or how they want this to play out. But overall, really enjoyed the series. If you haven't seen it, we would encourage you to give it a look. I think and I know, based on my own professional experiences, advisors do add value to clients, and clients do appreciate what advisors do for them.